Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Okay, welcome. I am Gio with GymnasticsVille, and I'm here with Allan Bauer. Allan, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's going great. Just training, getting ready for some competitions coming up. We have championships in 5 days, and
Really?
then so 5 days we start competing on Thursday, and then we compete on Saturday as well. So yeah, just training, trying to stay healthy, and enjoying the sport of gymnastics as long as I can.
Right, yeah. And you're training in Oklahoma, right? Still?
Yeah, still training at the OU gym.
Good old Sam Vierson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's it like training at your college after, college after being on that team?
Right. Yeah. I mean, not much has changed, to be honest.
Mhm.
Mark still has me do a lot of the same, like workouts and stay on the same schedule as the college guys. So, it helps me stay on top of like my training, and I also get to train with a lot of the guys. So I get to be pushed by those guys as much as
Mhm.
possible. But I
Yeah.
mean, the gym is great. All the equipment is amazing, and yeah, for a while I was having to drive about 45 minutes to go to a gym because COVID shut everything down.
Right,
So it's
right,
just honestly just a blessing to be in the OU
right.
facility and have
Mhm.
it be like 5 minutes from my house. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Like, how has COVID affected everything? What was practice like with that? You kind of touched on it being an hour away,
mhm.
but how was it different from now?
Yeah, I mean, so when COVID first hit, all the gymnastics facilities shut down. So we actually
Mhm,
didn't even have a place to train. So me, Genki, Yule, and Colin, a couple other guys, we set up
mhm.
a gym in Yule and Gank's garage, actually. So
Oh,
we worked out there for a while, and did as much as we possibly could.
mhm.
We had like a pommel horse got brought in.
Right.
We set up some rings and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So we just tried to maintain, to the best
Right.
of our ability. And
Mhm,
then when all the gyms started opening back up, me and Gank and Yule had to go up to it's about 45 minutes from where we live
mhm,
to train. So that was pretty difficult. Just having to go every day and drive that far and then drive
mhm,
back, and then you're trying to recover, you're trying to like eat, train, sleep, like
mhm.
it just added up, and it was just a lot. So
Yeah.
just being back in the gym is it's just amazing.
Yeah, definitely helps you appreciate, what you have right now.
For sure.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about still being in that college experience. How does that motivate
Mhm.
you? How does that help you? Yeah, how does that help you for training for the Olympics and for all this stuff now?
Right, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just great to be in a gym with a bunch of other guys that are working towards a goal.
Mhm,
Obviously they're trying to upgrade and clean up so that they can win NCAAs and all these other competitions. And I don't have that many competitions a year. So just being around that environment where the guys are still training, and it's very helpful that I get to
mhm,
watch them and compare myself to them and be like, okay, they can do this. Like I can do this as well.
mhm,
So also then it just helps me keep on a schedule. We have morning practices and afternoon practices, and I get to get work done by the trainer that works
mhm,
for OU Gymnastics. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't be in a better situation for where I am,
mhm,
and it's just great to have that kind of support from Mark and all the assistant coaches,
mhm.
and all the gymnasts and just staff,
Right.
trying to make sure that I have enough and everything that I need to be the best that I can.
That's an incredible place to be, for
Hmm.
sure. I definitely know that experience and definitely agree with you how that, team atmosphere can definitely push you, even though you're not on the team anymore.
Right.
You're still in that atmosphere, and that's something that is super, super important. So going off that, how does that college experience as a whole, shaped your gymnastics career?
Yeah. So when I came into college, I wasn't really sure what I was going to study
Mhm.
or like kind of where I wanted to go with my gymnastics. Like I knew the Olympics was like my end goal, and winning NCAA's and everything like that was like hopefully down the line. But just having, every day that structure where I had to get up and go to morning practice at 6 a.m. and then I
Mhm.
had to come back and study and then get good grades and go back in the afternoon to afternoon practice. It just helped me shape who I am, I guess, today.
Mhm.
Just a very like, motivated, driven, and just thankful individual for all the experiences that I've got to have at the college.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just wanted to really express that just because, you're one of the top gymnasts in the country. You have been developed and in that college atmosphere, and we're seeing
Hmm.
all over the country how many college, programs are getting shut down.
Right.
Top gymnasts that are going, to these world championships, to the Olympics are
Mhm.
part of these programs and they're developed by these programs. And
That's right.
I think it's just super, super important to remind everyone like this is how you get to that top notch
Hmm.
athletics is through these college programs. And
Right.
definitely want to put that out there that, you guys need support and all of
Absolutely.
all these programs definitely need some support. So
Hmm.
I just want to ask you, how important is college gymnastics?
Uh, I mean, it's super important, and I definitely would not be where I am today without college gymnastics.
Mhm.
You learn so many different skills. You get to interact with different people. You get to just, it's just the whole atmosphere of being in the college experience. It just, I mean, you can't substitute that for
Mhm.
anything else, in my opinion.
Mhm.
You make the closest bonds with some of your teammates. You get to, like I said, travel and have these amazing experiences competing against other teams. So, I mean, without college gymnastics, I definitely would not be in the position that I am
Mhm.
today, shooting for the Olympics and
Right.
world champ,
Mhm.
like worlds and
Yeah,
different
I mean,
events like that. So,
you've been part of the world team
hmm,
multiple times. So
yeah,
let's look back at just like the Olympians, from just OU, like Jake Dalton,
yeah,
Jonathan Horton, guys like that. And,
hmm,
back when you were in, college and when I was there, Jake Dalton, Steve Legendre was practicing,
yeah,
after college for that next step. And
right.
now it's guys like you, Colin, Yule,
Hmm.
Genki now. What is that like to be in that role now?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. Because
Yeah.
I would always watch Jake and Steve
Mhm.
in the gym, and I'd be like, man, they're just on such a different level than me, and
Mhm.
like I want to get to that point. Like, how do I make those steps to get to that point? And
Mhm.
now it's I'm kind of in that position myself, and I like look back and I think about how many hours, how much work we put
Mhm.
in, just the amount of support that we got from Mark and all the other assistant coaches that helped coach me to where I am today. So
Mhm.
it is like that role reverse where you're like, oh, okay, like hopefully I'm able to like help the younger guys like believe in themselves and be like, oh, okay, like Allan was in the same spot that I was 4 years ago, and now he's where he's at. So
Right.
hopefully, like that can translate into their own training and their own
Mhm.
lives.
Yeah, I think that's just, passing on the mantle and like making
Yeah,
sure that, that next generation's coming up. And again,
right.
that's just the development of that atmosphere and that culture,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is super, super amazing. But
Yeah.
let's move from college to um, kind of just competing for yourself and your country. Do
Hmm.
you think there's a big difference, little difference, the same? How do
Yeah.
you view that?
So I try to treat any like individual competition that I'm going to kind of like a team event where, I'm trying to be the best that I can for like say for the United States or for my
Mhm.
teammates back home. So I try not to put like pressure on myself and say like, oh, this is all for me.
Mhm.
I try to like relate that back to my college experiences and just competing for the team and for people and for other individuals. And it kind of helps decrease that pressure a little bit instead of just
Mhm.
being, oh, this is all on me.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I kind of,
Yeah,
that's how
I
I
can
think
definitely
about
see
these.
that helping,
Yeah,
being part of something bigger than yourself will,
right.
it helps you alleviate that pressure for sure.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about outside of gymnastics. You're still in school, still going to school for?
So I'm done with school right now, and
Mhm.
I actually applied for medical school last year, and then with COVID and everything, it kind of pushed
Mhm.
it back another year. So I'm actually studying again right now, just to try to up my score and to get a couple of different available places that I can go to medical school with just like a better score. So I've
Mhm.
been studying probably like 6, 7 hours a day for the past like
Wow.
month and a half, and I actually take my next test on June 18th.
Oof.
So it's kind of
Wow, that is yeah.
right in between championships and trials, but
Yeah, because
um,
trials is that next week, right?
it's exact yeah. Yeah,
My
so I mean,
goodness.
this is kind of what I have to do because it's
Mhm.
the only like available spot that I can take that test. But I
Mhm.
know that like gymnastics isn't going to last forever for me,
Mhm.
and so I want to make sure that I have a good like next step in my life.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, just trying to up my score, trying to get
Mhm.
like a couple different schools that I wasn't able to get in last time.
Mhm.
And then after this Olympics, hopefully I'll get into medical school or the medical school that I want to get into, and then kind of go from there.
Right. Is that what your plan is? After this Olympics, medical school, is it gonna be possible for you to continue gymnastics at during medical school or no?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, I've been doing gymnastics since I was 2 years
Yeah.
old. And so
Mhm.
it's kind of like this is what I've known my entire life. So that transition is going to be a little different.
Mhm.
But I think after the Olympics, and we'll kind of see where I am at and how my body's feeling, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, that's let's talk more about that, like, your love for
Mhm.
the sport and your kind of just tenacity to keep on pushing and keep on going. Why why do you keep doing it, and how
Uh,
long do you think you're gonna compete for?
I mean, I keep doing it because deep down, I love the sport of gymnastics. I love everything that
Mhm.
it stands for. It helps me keep in shape. It helps me, work towards that goal of getting to the Olympic Games and competing for the U.S. Like
Mhm.
that's the ultimate goal for me. So I like the routine. I like how it makes my body feel. Most days, there's hard days where you're like you just don't want to do anything, but
Right.
then like after you get through that
Always.
workout and you push yourself through that workout, you just have this like feeling of like accomplishment. So
Mhm.
I love that feeling, and I like being in good shape, and you know
Mhm.
I just like gymnastics in general and everything that it stands for. And then how long I'm going to do gymnastics after this, like I said, I just have to see how my
It's up
body
in the air.
feels after the
Mhm.
Olympics. I know there's a Worlds after the Olympics this year, so
Mhm.
we'll kind of see where it takes me. But yeah, right now I don't have anything really set in stone. Just kind of feeling how my
Right.
body feels, and actually,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So with your practices, I take it you're doing, 2-a-days,
Mhm.
just like college.
Yep.
With that, getting ready for med school, things like that. Take us through like a day-to-day with Allan Bauer.
Yeah. So normally we have practice at 6 a.m. So I'll get up around
Mhm.
5:30. Go straight to the gym. We'll do a workout from 6 to about 7:20, 7:30 ish. Then I come home, eat breakfast. I'll study for from 8 o'clock till around 12. And then we get ready for gym again at 1 o'clock. So then we have practice from 1 to about 5:30 or 6. Come
Mhm.
home, eat dinner, like take a shower or something like that, and then back
Mhm.
to studying for another couple hours. And then I try to go to bed around like 10:30. 10:30 or 11ish, just because like I'm
Mhm.
very tired from the day. But
It's a
yeah,
full day.
that's pretty much my normal day right
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
So
Allan
yeah.
Bauer does it all.
How about that?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about your Instagram page as well, because you put up a lot of different super helpful exercises for gymnastics and
Hmm.
a lot of different stuff like that. I've definitely used that in coaching, sent some of my kids
Nice,
some of your stuff. So all the
nice.
people out there, if you want good advice, on gymnastics, want good exercises, definitely follow him on Instagram. But like, why do you do that? And yeah, what does that, how did that start?
My old coach actually owns a company called Gymnastic Bodies, and
Hmm.
I work for them. And so I basically am in charge of like social media and like putting out videos so that people can, you know, they can see this and they'll be like, oh, okay, like I want to get to this level. So like I'm gonna
Hmm.
go and work through some of the courses that are found on that website. But I genuinely like doing it. I like
Hmm.
making like breaking down things for people that want to get into the sport of gymnastics or body weight strength, calisthenics, like that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So I like to like just help people and like give them different tips and different progressions that they can work through to, achieve different body weight skills. And
Hmm.
you know, I genuinely hope that it does help a lot of people. And then I'm glad to hear that you actually send
Hmm.
it to some of your athletes and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
means a lot.
Yeah,
That
one
means a
thing I
lot.
one thing I really like, and you said it, is like you really break down the progression of the
Hmm.
skills. So like,
Right.
the things of how to do a muscle up. You have people like with
Right.
their feet on a platform first and doing,
Yep.
breaking down the exercises. I think
Yes.
that's super important. It makes it a lot more simpler to not only learn but also teach. And like
Right.
when you're a coach, you'd be like, okay, this is how it's going to be broken down. And that's
Yes.
something that's super important, and like
Hmm.
can make simplify a lot
Yes.
when you're trying to coach and trying to learn. So
Exactly.
appreciate that, Allan. Definitely helped me, and it's
Nice.
helped a lot of people. So definitely love
Cool.
that. And so let's go to a little bit more of your international experience. So you've been 2018 and 19, you're alternate for world teams, right?
Hmm.
And
Yep.
um, yeah, what was that experience like, being part of Team USA, being able to represent them?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a little hard because you're the alternate, and
Hmm.
so you're there in case somebody gets hurt
Hmm.
or something kind of goes wrong. But at the end of the day, you're not really competing for the United States. So it's a little difficult when you train extremely hard and you put in everything that you can do, and then you're an alternate,
Hmm.
especially multiple years in a row. So it's just like it is. It's it's a hard position to be in, but at the same
Hmm.
time, it's very like motivating to get back into the gym after those competitions and be like, okay, obviously I wasn't good enough or I wasn't, selected for this reason.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna have to work harder and get to that point where they can't deny me.
Right.
So that's been a lot like a big thing in my gymnastics training throughout this
Hmm.
past year was that like, okay, I don't want to be an alternate again. I want to be able to compete for Team USA, represent
Hmm.
my country in the sport that I love. So yeah, it's a difficult position to be in. I took it very seriously. I
Hmm.
trained leading up to those competitions like I was going to compete
Hmm.
because you never know if something can happen, and you're in that position for a reason. So
Hmm.
it is difficult, but at the same time, necessary.
Always be ready. And
That's right.
I think that's something we need, is somebody like you being, that person that's, exactly what you're going to get from them. And I think that's definitely a case for you. But
Thanks.
let's talk about more of the things when you did compete,
Hmm.
2019 Swiss Cup, you guys got first.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
That was awesome. So,
Mhm.
just a ton of people at this arena that
Mhm.
came to watch. So that was like, the atmosphere was very intense, and they
Mhm.
had like very dimly lit lights, and they had some like smoke at the beginning. So, when you're warming up for your events, there's like smoke in the air, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like it. it's not like a normal competition. So that was a lot of fun. And I actually got to compete with Jade Carey, um,
Mm,
who has her own spots at the Olympics right now.
mhm,
So she was awesome, and we did what we were supposed to do, and we came out with a win. So I was extremely happy
mhm.
with that whole competition.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Hmm.
So I guess, yeah, what's kind of the difference between those international competitions and, more domestic competitions? Do you feel like there's, um, yeah, what's different, what's similar than
Hmm. Well,
nationals or?
I feel like the crowd really knows what's going on. So when they
Mm,
see internationally, so when they see a skill that's like a very difficult skill, they'll be like,
mhm,
"Oh wow!" Like then you'll hear clapping,
mhm,
and like they just I feel like they just understand. Even the crowd understands the sport a lot better. And the love for gymnastics in other countries is it's insane. Like compared to
mhm,
here, because like when we go to Japan, we went to a couple of team camps in Japan, and we were treated like royalty. Like everywhere we went, they made sure that we were like very comfortable, and they
mhm,
were like, "Wow, you guys are gymnasts! Like that's awesome."
mhm,
And in the United States, it's a little bit less like that.
mhm,
I mean, the girls do get like a lot of attention on sports and everything like
mhm.
that. Um, but like for the men's gymnastics, it's kind of like less popular here in the United
Right.
States.
What do
So
you
that's
think?
yeah.
Yeah, what do you think is different from that?
Yeah, I mean that's a difficult question. You know, right now, I mean the women are obviously winning medals at the Olympics
Mhm,
and at Worlds and things like that. So, they're going to like a lot of stations are going to broadcast the women's gymnastics a lot more because they are winning and they're bringing
mhm,
home these medals. And they have people like Simone Biles and like these just big names.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
I feel like that's mainly the difference in
okay.
popularity for the
Mhm.
sport, in my opinion.
Definitely. So we just gotta win.
That's right.
So speaking of which, 54 days until the Olympics, and less than a month for Olympic trials. How are you feeling? How's your body feeling? Um,
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good.
mhm,
Training's been going pretty well. I just have little bumps and bruises here.
mhm,
Still dealing with some just a little bit of shoulder issues and stuff like that, but nothing I can't get through. So, just trying to stay safe, stay healthy, and clean up some of my gymnastics in this last couple of months.
mhm.
There's not much difficulty you can add between now and then, and
Right.
I don't think you really should be. So,
Mhm,
just working on execution and yeah,
mhm.
working on hitting sets.
Hitting them sets.
Right.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah. So anything that you can reveal that's new? Or are you just gonna
Like
save that for competition?
as far as gymnastics,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just save it for
All
competition.
right.
Just yeah, kind of.
Make sure everybody tunes in.
That's right.
But yeah. Who's gonna be at championships? What is that gonna look like? Um that's in a week.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So we have first competitions this Thursday, which I think
Mhm,
is June 3rd, perhaps.
mhm,
But there's gonna be, Yule's gonna be there, Sam's gonna be there, a lot of good guys are gonna be there.
mhm,
Some of the other guys are actually competing at Pan American Games at the same time. So they're going to be competing there and we're going to be competing here. So there's a few guys that aren't going to be at championships, but
mhm,
at the end of the day, you're going to see some good gymnastics there.
mhm. That's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
So um with all of this being said, I think I just want to give you the floor
Mhm.
to state your case to be on the Olympic team. Why Alan Bauer?
I'm a consistent, clean gymnast, and I love this sport more than anything. And I'm gonna try my best to put up the best scores that I can, hit as many good, clean sets as I can in these next competitions, and just really make my case for why I should be on the Olympic team. I can help on pommels, floor, a couple other events, and I really
Mhm,
think that hopefully my consistency and reliability will stand out.
mhm. Yeah, you definitely. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, after you, you were alternate 2018, 2019, and I was just, watching the guys who did start and like watching some of them,
Mhm.
um, and obviously there might be a couple falls here and there, but
Right.
there are some of those routines where it's just I was always thinking, Allan would have hit that, and it could have been, that consistency that you've had for the past, 6, 7 years from, competing to from OU to
Right.
now competing for the US is something that I don't think anybody else can match. So Allan, good luck. I'm rooting for you, man.
Thank you.
So yeah, what needs to happen for you to be selected? I know there's less people being selected this Olympics.
Right.
Yeah, what needs to happen?
I just need to go in and hit clean sets and just do
Mhm,
what I've been doing in the gym. I'm going to try to go into the competitions treating it no different than any other day in the gym. Not going to try to put pressure on myself. And I just want to do what I am capable of doing. I just
mhm,
want to be confident in my gymnastics. Uh, like I said, clean, solid
mhm.
hits with some, 4 or 5 sticks. So
That's
that's
the
what I'm
goal.
going for. That's the plan.
All right. Good
Yep.
stuff. Allan, thanks for talking and good luck. We'll be watching you at championships, trials, and hopefully the Olympics.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. All right.